Okay guys, so this is an update on my Thunder Road stuff. I'm taking a break from the houses and stuff and working on this for a week or two. I found these micro machines that I had in one of my boxes, but you can see that this is supposed to be a Hummer, and you can see that compared to the Interceptor it's just way too small. And I kind of really want something that looks appropriately scaled. I don't want a bunch of vehicles that are too small and too large. One of the sucky things about having an American edition of Thunder Road is that if I had the European edition, the vehicles are smaller, and I would just be able to get in-gauge railroad cars and stuff because those would be the perfect size. But since I have the American one, I'm going to go ahead and try and make as many vehicles fit as I can. So as I said, I found these micro machines in one of my boxes. They're too small, obviously, so I went ahead and took them apart. The wheels are also too small. So when I took them apart, I went ahead and put a piece of plastic strip in between the wheel well. But this still wasn't enough, so I went ahead and actually ended up buffing up the undersides of them. And I went to the extent that because the wheels didn't fit and I didn't have any wheels that were the appropriate size, I went ahead and made my own wheels. To do that, I went ahead and got some plastic tubing out of my tubing stock. Since I'm heavily into miniatures gaming, I actually have a couple of little boxes of plastic tubing. Most of it's still in the package. So I found some that would fit inside of each other and basically built it up until I got the right size for the tires that I wanted. I went ahead and put a piece of plastic tubing here to act as a housing for the axle. The wheels do not turn, but I did that to help give me a place to adhere it to, as well as since I'm using plastic solvent cement instead of regular super glue or model glue, this actually melts the plastic. So by putting that in there, using it as a placeholder sort of, it allows me to bond them there. Plus I put some on the tires where they connect to the body. So you can see that this is actually substantially taller now than the Interceptor. The vehicle is about the right length, but see if I can do that again. You can see that it's taller now. So as far as the ones that I've been working on, I've got this guy here. Not too fancy, but I don't want them to be too fancy, since the vehicles in the game are actually kind of generic. I've got this one. All the white parts are going to be styrene sheeting or tubing. The gray parts are going to be bits out of my bits box. I'm thinking I may, I've still got a couple more bodies. I've got like 3 of these bodies that I haven't used yet. So I'll use those when I'm ready to make some other gangs. Because I actually want more than just 4 gangs to choose from for my collection. So I'm also looking at possibly doing a military type gang, so I'd have something like this in it. Oh, and for the rules for these, what I'm looking at is doing this as a rank 5, but that it cannot use the highest rolling die unless there is multiples of that number. So if you rolled the dice and you got 1 6 and the rest were 5 4 3 or whatever, it could not use the 6. But if you rolled it and you got 2 6s, as long as there are, it's gonna be a little complicated. Okay, so this would be a 4th actual car in your unit, so you add an extra die to your pool. It cannot use the highest dice unless there are not sufficient other cars to take that up. So if you had 4 cars in your thing and you did a 6 5 4 3 for your roll, it could not use the 6. It could use the 5 4 or the 3. If you only had two vehicles left, and you rolled a two sixes and two fours, it could use one of the sixes. It simply cannot have the highest die roll unless there are no other vehicles that can take that die roll in the first place. As I said, I was looking at doing maybe a military type gang, and I had some of these old Micro Machine. This was like a G.I. Joe Cobra thing when they came out with their own weird take on it. But I went ahead and, again, this is done with Bitsbox parts. Made some tracks. Not terribly happy with the tracks, but I figure this will do. Had another one. Again, I had to replace the suspension by making my own. Well, for the half track, I didn't go quite as heavy duty on the suspension. I just went ahead and filled it in as I needed, and this isn't being done for looks. This is actually being done to help support the front end here. Again, I used the plastic solvent cement, so I'm just doing that to help support it. Now, as far as my war rigs go, I've kind of reached an impasse on them because I want to put some little guys on top. So I'm waiting for help from some of the local historical gamers, because they have access to all kinds of different scales from different companies. So one of them is helping me find a scale that will work for this. So I'm just waiting for him to dig a couple of the figures out to show me what the scale will be for them. But I'm pretty much done with these. I'm not going to paint them yet until I get the figures to go on top. I'm not going to add anything more to them yet. There's only one piece that I can add to one of these, and I'll mention that when I get to it. Oh, this is the one that I'll be adding some wire screen to. I'm going to put it on here, paint it rusted metal. This one is kind of a plain Jane truck right now, simply because the top doesn't really have anything on it. I'm waiting to finish the top until I get the figures to go on it, because I want to see about maybe putting up some sandbags or something. So I just got to see what comes in the kit, because I was told that the figures that he's going to bring in are military figures. So I'm thinking maybe I'll end up with some plastic sandbags or something. This one I just finished up tonight. These are broken tank treads that I got from my favorite local game store's Bitsbox. I'm experimenting with doing some of the bullet holes. I may add a few more to some of the other vehicles, I don't know yet. I'm also waiting for a little hand nail buffer unit to come in, so I can do some of the like gouges and stuff. This one I've taken as far as I can for the moment, but I'm pretty happy with where it's at. Once I've had a chance to get these all finished up and painted and everything, because I don't really like playing with unpainted figures. That's why it took me so long to get around to playing Thunder Road, is because I got the game probably 10 or 15 years ago and just never was able to finish painting it until recently. But I'm really having a blast with it, and I'm enjoying building the war rigs. And that's it for now, guys. just wanted to show you guys what I was up to and the direction I'm kind of going with some of this stuff. I will catch you guys later. Bye.